Yep. So during our last monthly connection meeting, I kind of talked about the nationwide injunction on the Corporate Transparency Act that was put into place on December 3rd. But since then, there's just kind of been a whirlwind of developments that's just kind of kept us all on the edge, awaiting the next turn to see what's actually going to happen. On December 24th, kind of as we were predicting or expecting, the U.S. Court of Appeals, they actually stepped in and reversed the nationwide injunction. Now, this reversal allowed FinCEN to go ahead and move forward with the Phase 1 reporting requirements of the Corporate Transparency Act. Now, originally, the enforcement for the reporting phase was set to begin on January 1st, 2025. But with the injunction and then the swift reversal, FinCEN issued an adjusted timeline. The revised timeline, it gave a small amount of grace period that reporting entities would have to support their beneficial ownership information for the database, but there wasn't a lot of time that was allowed here. So if you've been paying attention from that point, you also know that the dust didn't really even have a chance to settle before we had another twist in the road on December 26th. So the Fifth Circuit panel, they vacated the stay of the preliminary injunction, which essentially was like hitting a reset button, and it's reinstated the original nationwide injunction, at least for now. Then on December 25th, the Fifth Circuit, they scheduled an oral argument that's going to be held late March 2025. But by doing so, this really just kind of effectively maintains the injunction, at least until that hearing, unless further intervention or something like that were to come into play. But as a result, banks and reporting entities, we're just in this state of limbo right now. So right now, reporting entities are not required to submit beneficial ownership information to FinCEN, at least during the ongoing injunction. And no penalties are going to be enforced for failing to submit information while the injunction is active. But there is still an option that if entities want, they can still voluntarily submit their information if they wish. So they do have that option. But despite the temporary pause, the Corporate Transparency Act, it's still a major focus for banks and financial institutions. So there's not immediate action that we're required to take right now, and we're all just kind of still holding tight to first of all, see how it plays out. But then also, we're still waiting for our marching orders. We're still waiting for Phase 3, which is going to be that guidance for financial institutions telling us how to comply with beneficial owner rules moving forward. The next significant step as it relates to the reporting requirements is going to be the oral arguments in late March. But kind of as we learned over the past month, this roller coaster could be far from over, and there's probably some more twists and turns in the road. So our recommendation right now would just be for institutions to kind of stay informed and up to date by keeping an eye out for regulatory updates, court decisions as it relates to the Corporate Transparency Act, as well as the enforcement timeline. But the other thing here is that it's important to maybe be prepared for some questions from reporting entities. So what we've seen are some entities are reporting or they're reaching out to institutions because they're trying to figure out what their reporting requirements are. They're seeking clarity and understanding as far as what's happening here. And if we think about it, a lot of times for them, the last time they probably heard about beneficial ownership information was when they were in opening their accounts with us. So it might be good if our team was at least informed and kind of prepared, at least in case questions were to come up, that though we're not required to actively do anything, if someone were to come in with questions, this might be a great way to support our customers and good customer service. At least we can kind of provide a little bit of information here. But in just a few short weeks, so on January 22nd, we're going to be kicking off our AML CFT membership group that it's great for things like this, keeping you up to date and in the know. But our first meeting, there's going to be a focus on the Corporate Transparency Act and really just the roller coaster of a ride that this has been. So Kevin's going to be able to lead us, walk us through that, but he's also going to be able to help us each month kind of take a deeper dive into our AML CFT programs. So we can kind of look at those and, make sure that they're the best they can be. If you want more information, there is the link in the agenda. You can get information. You can sign up for the group there too. But right now, as it sits today for the Corporate Transparency Act, we're all just kind of sitting tight to see how things play out and where things actually land.